Hey guys, so I just want to make another December investing video because I think that a lot of people are new in the hobby or they're just not sure what to buy right now. And yeah, it's true that the Pokemon market is kind of difficult right now. There's not a lot of obvious buys. But here's kind of what I'm looking for if for products that to buy in general. So for the first of these, some of these products, it's kind of like as supplies are available, or you get kind of lucky. And so realistically, kind of the only way to get some of these is to be a part of a Discord like Poke Notify, where like you get the real time notifications when stuff are in stock. But that doesn't suit everyone because you have to pay for that sort of stuff sometimes. There's other options where you don't have to pay as much, but also you have to be kind of attentive. And not everyone has the time. It's also not always worth the money for some people, but for some people, I leave it on, and I've actually muted notifications. But like I'm sort of like, if I have the time, if I see it, then I'll get on the deal. Especially if there is a more longer sort of period. Because some almost every product ate up immediately, but every now and then you'll have enough supply for like maybe like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour that you still catch it even if you're not immediate. The other thing is that if you happen to go to a store or you're lucky, or some people actually like figure out the restocking schedule at a place like Walmart or Target or something, and they go there. So I'm not really an in-store person, but for some people that works a little better. Um, so the first product I want to talk about is Crown Sea and Sky collection. So this was kind of hyped and not hyped and hyped and not hyped because it was sold out pretty immediately when it came out, and it was that it was very ridiculously valued for its price. Like Crown Sea is usually about $5 a pack because it's a specialty set, and this is 14 packs for $40. And you do need a membership to order it. And I think and so you kind of have to do the math. If you don't have a membership, sometimes you get a discounted membership or whatever. Um, or sometimes you just do it per like you're okay. If I'm buying like 10 boxes, then like I divide the membership cost by the boxes. It's still technically a good deal, because 14 times five is like $70. So as long as you're getting the boxes for like less than like 50 $60, like it's still pretty much a good deal after taxes and everything. I feel like these are easier to get in store nowadays. Like this online stock, it's kind of like not available a lot of places. But I know some places they do have it still in stock. Um, so it's just something to look out for. Crown Zenith is one of those sets where it's been reprinted so much that we're at the point where we kind of think that it's not going to be reprinted anymore after this. Like there's a bunch of booster bundles. You still see Sea and Sky out every now and then, but it's such a good set. People will look back and be like, oh, like how did I ignore this? Yeah. So just know that if you can get Crown Zenith booster bundles, it's no, or Crown Zenith in general at cheap, it's a pretty good buy for long term stuff. Um, I thought I also had I also have it here. It's a little disorganized, but this isn't the same value per price, but the advantage of booster bundles for investing is kind of like for booster bundles are nice for specialty sets like Crown Zenith because there's no booster box. So Crown Zeniths are just sort of a nice compact way to store. So even though the booster bundles for I say like $30 or less isn't like as good value, it's still $5 a pack or less. Um, it's good for long term investing because you can store them for a while. Versus Crown Zenith, Sea and Sky, you're gonna be more pressured to break down the boxes, and like people don't usually like lose packs as much. Um, so sometimes it's worth just paying a little extra because booster bundles are a popular product. When people look this up in the future, they're gonna target booster bundles a lot of the time. It's just sort of a nice little like efficiency thing. Like it's there's no fluff. It's easy to ship. You get a good amount of packs. Like if you buy six of them, it's pretty much a booster box. So the first one's Zenith, and another one. So this one is probably gonna be harder to find, but I have seen Costco mini tins in person. Well, not personally, but I've seen people talk about it. So 151, pretty much any product 151 they get MSRP is a good deal because it's like double that at market price. English 151, and so yeah, this is a pretty good deal. It's I think each mini tin comes with 2 packs. So this is like 10 packs for like $40. So like they're just like I've seen people they just um there's a lot of fights and stuff over this. So like it's kinda hard to get in real life. So like stay safe. But yeah, it is technically a good deal and that's why people are going after it. Um next one is um Prismatic Evolutions. So Prismatic Evolutions is one of those things that yeah you'll probably need like a Discord because you're obviously not gonna get stored because it's not out yet. But mostly people are trying to get the MSRP prices at Best Buy, Target, and Walmart. They're pretty hard to get. So yeah, sometimes they'll be like $55. That's still a good price. It's usually $55. Even after taxes. Like I meant like TCG players selling for like 100. So, um, like I've heard one YouTuber say like anything less than 100 is still kind of a good price. Um, Depending on how your exit strategy is, that kind of will vary. But yeah, MSRP is kind of the way to go for Prismatic. Same thing with the other items. If you can get them MSRP, like the poster collection, the binder, the whatever, it's also still a pretty good deal. Next is I'm looking through the list just to make sure I put in order. Talked about the booster bundles. Okay, so Testro Festival. Um, this one is, I feel like this is a pretty good buy because it gets good value. Like the main con with Testro Festival is pretty much like some people don't like Japanese cards as much, but also that um, Japanese cards get printed a lot more. Like with English cards, the print cycles are slower. So what happened with Prismatic and like everything else is like we'll get a bunch of stuff, and then the supply gets eaten up, and then like we're waiting for the next resupply. Whereas the Japanese, they just like I've seen posts where I've seen things where like oh they're already at wave 5, which means like it still takes a while for the product to get here and stuff. Um, but yeah, Japanese it just keeps printing and printing and printing and printing. It's partly because they have to supply globally, so they just know people will buy it and they want their own like know their own country to have it. But I would say like this is more a pricing sort of thing. It's like if you can get Charles Vessel for like I'd say like $70-$80, like around there or less. And I'm doing like I personally like I like to like account for taxes and shipping. So for me personally, I wouldn't want to spend more than $80 for Special Festival, preferably like 70 or less after taxes and shipping. Your sort of tolerance might vary, but yeah, 80 more than $80. Like I think market price is probably more like like 80 to 90 after taxes and shipping. But yeah, so if you can get it for less, depending on what you want to do, if you want to open it, it's still kind of pricey at $8 a pack. Um, that's where you get into like Prismatic Evolution territory, but it definitely has reselling potential. Um, because the value of the set is just so high. And then it has the master balls. Like I think I mentioned this in another video where if you account for the master balls, like Terrestrial Festival's value of the whole set is like almost $4,000, which I don't like. A lot of people don't really realize how much that is, but like a lot of sets are like one are like 10 times less. Like a lot of sets are like 280 or times two 720. Um, so yeah, it's I think it's worth more than 151 Japanese actually right now, or a lot of other sets. But yeah, so that's the rest of the festival if you can get a good price. Um, the booster boxes at least. Okay, so next is Scarlet Violet booster boxes. So I'll just go back to Scarlet Violet sets. Um, So I'd say the obvious plays for cheap plays is kind of any booster box less than like 100 to 110 after, or maybe 115 after taxes and all that. Um, and I know specifically there's so this one's an easier to look at. So Bucks Card Shop, um, it'll ship anywhere for free for if you spend over 250. And so like you see like 109, 115. So that kind of fits the bill. They don't charge sales tax or shipping if you have the enough. But I guess Stellar Crown is sold out. But Paradox Rift is like that's 40 divided by 6. That's like 106, 107 a booster box. They still have Scarlet Vibe base. Honestly, I think for some people it's a pretty good pickup. But it's kind of agreed upon right now that the safer sets as far as like reprints is kind of the first four sets. So the first four sets are Scarlet Vibe base, and then Paldea, and Obsidian, and then Paradox Red. Everything else seems like it's more in reprint land, where it can possibly get reprint or restocked. That's kind of why like I didn't go absolutely completely hard on Stellar Crown, even though it's doing well. I'm just not really sure. I feel like it might get reprinted eventually, and the price might drop, and it might happen when the bull market ends. So, but yeah, like I would still like get some. It's still a good price, at 115. Like I think it's 1/3 TCG player, and then you can also get it on Hills Wholesale Gaming. So Paradox Rift Case is 630, and I think Stellar Crown is also 630. Obsidian Flames you can also get for 115 per, so that's also a pretty good deal. But like this one does charge shipping, so it might cost more than you'd want. Um, but yeah, for Obsidian Flames, I'd say the price target for me is probably less than 115, 120. And then, but the big one that I'd say that if you want the most definite value is Paldea. Um, this seems like it's definitely gonna do well with the Magikarp. Um, like out of all the first four sets, it has like the main, like, oh yeah, this is a good set sort of feeling. Um, it already had its period where it was very undervalued. It was close to like what, $70 to $90 or something, and no one liked it. And it just, you know, it's been like there's been a lot of like stagnancy in a period, but that's because it just went so high so fast. Um, and so yeah, in the past few weeks we had like the reprints, or past month, or restock, and so I'd say Paldea is something if you can get under like 120, 130, I'd say it's a buy after all this stuff. There's probably some places that you can get it. Um, but yeah, it's a I definitely want at least one booster box of Paldea if I was investing. Um, as far as other sets, like you can make plays. Like you could argue that Twilight Masquerade will do really well. I think Twilight Masquerade will do very well because of the Greninja. It just has one of the highest value chase cards, and learning from Sword and Shield that really matters a lot. Um, I just yeah. I personally don't have a Twilight Masquerade. I want to buy it when it goes, if it goes down to like 120 or something. Um, but yeah, and then Shroud Fable people don't really like. Surging Sparks, I don't really want to get it on this price. You can get it for less than 200 maybe it's a play, but that's not something I really fully recommend. And last thing is going back to Sword and Shield boxes, and this is sort of like it's because they're already tried and tested. Like you know that they have good value, and so I say the ones, even though they're expensive, like honestly, like they will probably go up, because they're at the point where there's not gonna be any reprints or whatever. So Evolving Skies has like team up and Cosmic Eclipse vibes, where like they're just kind of most. If you look through like the past eras, like Team Up Cosmic Eclipse are here. Like the ones that have the highest valued are have usually just have the best cards. Like, if you look at them, like, oh yeah, they really are the best sets. And so like Evolving Skies has that sort of effect where like, um, if you look at the graphs for these, they're like, oh, if I bought at like 300 or 500, it would already went up so much. I think Evolving Skies have the same effect. Um, and then at the lower price things, there's Fusion Strike, there's Lost Origin, and Chilling Rain. I think that those, originally, yeah, those three are like very, very like they will definitely appreciate value. Like some booster boxes don't really appreciate more than like to like 300 or 400 for, or 500 for a while. But like it seems like Lost Origin, Future Strike, and Chiller Rain are going to be the types of boxes that do go up to like thousands. I think Brilliant Stars is also kind of nice. Astral Race is kind of undervalued, so I'd say like maybe that's good to get on that. But it's just not as liked. It's definitely not one of the better sets, like one of the best sets. And so like when you invest this much extra money into these boxes, sometimes you have to make that decision. Do I invest more money, a higher price set, um, so that it'll do more in the long term? Because if you are holding for a long term, like that's kind of what you want. Um, and I say Silver Tempest is kind of interesting. It's still below $200 because it just recently sold out a Pokemon Center, so that might be good for the Lugia. But some people do think it's a weaker set. And then the other ones like Battle Styles, Vivid Voltage, like like those are still cheap. And I think that there will be some point where like if like it will just increase all of a sudden. I don't know when that is, so I don't know if I actually want to recommend it, but like yeah, they're definitely less popular sets, and but yeah, they will eventually also go out of stock. So it'll happen eventually, and then when that happens, like people say they missed out, but there are actually To be fair, there actually are monitors for that. So like on some of the discords or whatever, there are monitors that can check the stock levels of the sets on Pokemon Center. So if you see it's about to sell out, then that's usually when people will start buying out. That actually happened with Silver Tempest. Um, like I actually didn't have any Silver Tempest booster boxes, and I just kept seeing like it was at like the 2,000 range in the U.S. and it started reaching like it went from 2,000 to like 200 in like very very quickly. I don't know the exact like I say less than a week, but it just like once it gets closer and closer, people just buy. Um, and yeah, so I think that's everything. So these are my recommendations for investing in December. Hope you guys have a good day. If you guys have any um, video suggestions, I'd love to do them. And thanks. Bye.